Hello, welcome. We're going to take a few minutes for folks to join the session.
Looks like we only have Ginger on right now. I guess
Represent.
Say again, Ginger
Represented.
All right, we have another
So,
here.
Leanne, we're just waiting. We're going to wait a couple more minutes for folks to hop on the session. Hello, VP Chavez. Welcome.
How are you? Are we live yet?
Doing well. We are live. I'm going to wait a couple more minutes for folks to join the session.
Perfect.
And I don't think there's going to be a too long of a.
No, I think, and I don't know if Dina Scara is going to join us or not.
Yeah, no worries.
She probably has something she could join in on, but
Yeah, no worries.
we start to build. Oh, look, we've got a couple people joining us. There she is. Thank you, Dina Scara. I'm glad you're here. She's thinking she was probably going to be a participant or attendee instead, but I'm glad you invited her.
I did think I was going to be a participant.
We're just waiting, we have about 6 attendees. We could probably get started, Caesar, if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, everybody, welcome to our Campus Ready for Employees. Today is December 9th, Thursday. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. So we have a couple of updates for you guys. I don't know, John, do you want to go ahead and start first with some updates?
Yeah, certainly. We're working on getting, this applies more to students, printers in the cafeteria and some computer stations as a study space. And we're recommending extending the hours, working on the logistics and the staffing, but it will provide ample space and opportunities and another resource for students to come on campus here to study as we're winding down the semester. Again, I know there's COVID exhaustion with many folks, but keep in mind is we had a very successful event yesterday. It was great to see so many students and faculty and staff, many of whom I still have not met after being here for 15 months now in person anyhow, but we did have to have some ambassadors going around reminding folks to mask up, that we're enforcing COVID policies and to social distance. And I know that it's a taller task with some of our students, but there are a few employees here and there. So we're still working on, believe it or not, it's pretty much a daily task working on being COVID ready, being campus ready for reopening in the spring. Just yesterday, as I was meeting new employees and commiserating with others, I did receive a couple of verbal requests regarding even if it's just the air purifiers, plexiglass. Again, we have posters. I received several requests for posters that should be installed in all classrooms, hallways, offices, restrooms, elevators, you name it. These are the yellow campus ready posters that enforce the social distancing and masks that we're requiring masks on campus. And in addition to the directional arrows and the safety stickers, the floor stickers, if you will, we received several requests for those. We still have ample supplies, PPE supplies, gloves, sanitation, masks, you name it. We have pallets of it in our incubator. We'll be ordering more for the spring semester, but right now, if you have any needs, please feel free to forward those to the business office, to business services, myself, Ginger, or Dina, and we'll fulfill those requests. Going back to my email regarding HERF expenditures, I have received several follow-up questions as to, hey, can we write this off, justify this as something that is germane to instruction, technology, or retention. And there are some requests that we're towing the line, and I'm being now the gatekeeper of the campus I was a little more lenient, and the district is pushing back now. And we receive, I think I mentioned, various requests from our auditors, scrutinizing pretty much anything, but particularly if it's an exorbitant dollar amount, exorbitant, I would say anything over a couple to several $1,000s, that's really being scrutinized by our auditors. And these are our auditors. CLA is the firm, the district auditors. These are not the Department of Education or federal auditors. That is one thing that we are trying to avoid, is having those guys on our tails. So I appreciate the questions. It's better to ask for clarification than to assume. That's all I have for updates, colleagues, unless there's something else you would like me to add.
Thank you, John. And just real quick, some numbers too from yesterday's Fall Fest and Study Jam. We had nearly 800 students registered for the event, which was amazing. And almost half of them attended. So, you know, it was amazing seeing all the students, all our programs who represented. Thank you for coming out. I don't know if Genevieve, if you want to say anything about the event too, and outreachers out there hustling, doing their thing.
Yeah, no, it was just, I mean, it was awesome to just see students back on campus and to have like that life back on campus. And it really, you know, they were so grateful to be able to speak with folks in person, and, you know, even more grateful for the direct student aid that they would be receiving, you know, as participants after we verified their eligibility, and just a reminder of, you know, like that they're why we're here. And if they're not here, it's hard to know why we're here if they're not here. So so they're coming back and they're excited. And it was a really awesome event. And you know, for the most part, you know, folks were really, you know, I know that a lot of the concern at the beginning, you know, when we first started having these campus ready sessions, was that, you know, there would be a lot of hostility, or folks would be upset about being asked to wear a mask, or, you know, or whatnot, however that was going to be. And, you know, for the most part, you know, folks are really just they were on board with that. You know, there were, when we were working check-in, when I was working check-in and asking, you know, whatever, and like, hi, you're going to have to, you know, mask up. And they're like, oh, yes, I'm sorry. Like, can I get a mask? You got a mask? Like, you know, I'm putting it on, and just overall pleasant. So, I mean, it was a really amazing event. So, so excited to be able to do more things like that as we move into the spring. So.
Thank you, Dean Esquerra. All right, Tilly, if you have any update you would like to provide.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you. And thank you for the 13 people that have joined us to attend today. I see many of the names that I saw yesterday, as a matter of fact. So thank you for both attending yesterday, being part of the wonderful event that that you all put on together. A couple of things that came to mind too, and I heard what John was still kind of trying to tie things together, is campus ready. You never know if you're ready for campus to be open again until you all get back here and let us know what's missing. And one of the things that I discovered yesterday, and John, I'll send an email too on this, is that because we've been closed for almost 2 years, certain things have been just kind of pushed away, put away. There doesn't seem to be enough garbage cans around this campus now, is there? So, you know, things that you didn't take for granted because there weren't that many people showing up in the space. One of the spaces was the cafeteria. We didn't realize, you know, when you brought in 300 people to come in and eat, that we probably needed its own dumpster, but didn't plan on that. But different places I've seen that, you know, that we're having to move them around. I know, Leslie, also provide a little comedy act too at the same time. Another place that I thought about, John, and this is not at you, but really for us, for people as they get ready. I always try to find new spaces on the campus where I haven't been. I went to one yesterday and it was in the restrooms in the cafeteria. They do not have paper towels yet in the cafeteria restrooms because we haven't really been using them to know about it. John knows, he gets these texts that come from Tilly. Hey, I've been in the following restrooms and there's no paper towels there. So that kind of stuff happens. I don't want people to panic and say, nobody took care of this. We can't get into every space, so help us out. Please send those emails around, let us know. And another thing that we were kind of looking at is, as we start to come back, we've been working with the managers, the deans, about building captains. Building captains, we have assigned different deans and managers to certain buildings to be kind of the go-to person for that building. You know what? We don't have somebody for the D building, for the books or the cafeteria, John. We haven't named somebody for that one. So maybe that's also why that one had a little, no one to follow up on. But I know right now I'm in an abundance. We have several of us over here in the A building. So if you happen to be like, we'll just say Dean Lopez, she has the S building. So her job is to make sure those posters that John was talking about are getting into her places and spaces, that they have those up. Do we have the right garbage cans? Do we need them? And then water, John, is the water actually going to still come on in the spring semester, or should we still plan to have the pallets of water available come spring? So those are just some, okay, I'll get you come back to that in a moment, but I was just kind of, as you start to think about those things, we've gone so much forward, but then it's like kind of come back and just recall where we are. And you mentioned the directional signs, stuff like that. If people need those things, let your building captain know. And if there's a dean in your building, it's most likely they're the dean of that, or the building captain of that building as well. Those are a couple of things. I also wanted just to let people know about the schedule, since it is instruction. I'll go back into my own lane again. Is that people are wondering, what are we doing with intercession in spring? Intercession is booming and going. If I know the deans have already worked on that, it is totally online. That was a decision made for the district. And then looking at spring semester, we had asked people to, put some classes hybrid in different formats. And people were wanting 2 weeks ago to close some of those classes, but open enrollment just started this week. We had always all agreed in the instructional cabinet to wait till the end of this week, start to go back and look at those classes. If there's classes that were maybe created as totally online and they're not making, recreate it, repurpose that, and vice versa. If it was a class that was maybe a hybrid, wasn't doing well, go back and repurpose it, see what happens. This is the time now to see if the students are going to fill those classes, and a time that we have a little bit of leeway for the schedule. I think those are the big things that I have on my list that I wrote down. I don't know if there's other questions for instruction that came through.
Didn't see any questions or comments. All right, perfect. Thank you, VP Chavez. And now I'd like to welcome to the virtual stage our coordinator for mental health counseling, Leslie Easton.
Thanks for the introduction. Hey, everybody, I'm glad you're here. Just a quick reminder that as we wrap up this semester and get prepared for spring and kind of the return of the students on campus, and just knowing that the holidays, in general, we've always known holidays can be stressful. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of financial pressures. There's a lot of family pressures. There's social pressures. But when you add that into the COVID and now Omicron and the fears that go along with all of that I just really want to impress upon each of you to be forgiving, be kind to yourselves, take care of yourselves over the break, enjoy some downtime. And if you feel like there's something that you do or don't want to do, honor your own instincts in this. These are really strange times. Mental health counseling, student health center, we're going to be closed for the break as we always are. We reopened for full services and in-person services for the first time, right, since the shutdown in March of 2020. At the spring semester on January 31st, we're going to have some limited return to campus January 18th that week to start prepping for things. So if there's questions that you have, I really want to encourage you all. Our nurse practitioners have been doing the Healthy Lunch Bunch and the COVID Q&A. It's a really great place to go and get informed information and support and resourcing from our student health clinic. And we're going to be continuing, those efforts, but not over the break. So just wanting to be sure. And then, mental health will be back. We're going to be doing on-campus events. And I want to remind you guys, especially that one of the great things about the HERF monies that we have is that we are able to put monies towards providing workshops and trainings and events that are focused on faculty and staff, something that our program historically has done through grant monies, but not, the student health fee doesn't fund that. So please be on the lookout in the spring. We have several events planned to offer safe spaces and, skills building for your own care, so that we're at our best, so that we can serve our students. So I just wanted to remind you guys of that. I'm still working, so even though we're not open, I'll still be working. If you have questions for me, if you have concerns for the campus health, please let me know. You all have my email, my phone number. I can put that in the chat, but feel free to give me a call, to email me, and let me know if you have concerns or ideas, and be on the lookout for events that are designed for you. Okay, that's it.
Thank you very much, Leslie. I think Tilly had another update, or
I did. Leslie reminded me of one of the things that we're working on. How could that escape me? So one of the things, there's a core group of individuals on the campus, mostly faculty, that are working on, and we don't want to use the word, I think it's some remote learning rooms. We're careful not to say Zoom rooms, because it doesn't always have to be Zoom. But if a student is coming to campus, taking a face-to-face class, then has a space in between and has a class that it's remote, and then another face-to-face, they don't know where do they go to run that class. So we're identifying spaces. Those building captains are part of that, identifying spaces throughout the campus where people can go, bring their computer, there's Wi-Fi in there, they can bring their headsets, whatever it might be. And the library is also a place that's available for that. But we're looking to identify, hopefully on a map, so that we can tell people where they're at, and they're not having to walk all the way from the MS building to the A building in that short time period, that they can actually get it done right where they are. So I think that's going to be a really nice new added feature for the semester, for students and for staff, because many of us may be having a face-to-face meeting in one space and then have a Zoom meeting in another. So I thought that might be something that you want to know. You'll hear more about it as we complete the loop and have all the information for you. Then I had posted a question in there for John Parker about the happenings of the cafeteria for the spring semester. Do you want to remind us what they're going to be offering?
In terms of the study space?
No, what the cafeteria itself, are they going to open up any kind of food?
Oh, yes, with the exception of the grill. So there will be hot and cold to go grab food, to go food, or grab and go food, sorry, with drinks, but the grill itself will not be open.
Okay.
That's as of today.
It's more than the 2 vending machines we have currently.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just based on economics, supply and demand, as was described by the district. But again, that is as of today. It'll be reassessed in the spring.
It was really nice just to have students go in there yesterday to be able to have a meal, realize that the study space in the cafeteria has been available for about a month. People were like, really? We didn't know. And one of the things that we're looking at doing is, how do we open the cafeteria space, study space, in the evening for students that need a space to go and study? And what I mean by that is, Caesar, maybe you can help us out, or Susan Murray can help us. We really need to probably survey students to find out what are the days and times that they would show. I'd hate for us to, dedicate some time and all this effort, have people come into the space, and then we find out that it's the wrong day. So I don't know. I think that would be something that would really be nice to try it out as we're starting to come back.
great idea, Tilly. We have one question here. Will the Starbucks in the cafeteria be open in the spring? Well, I know the C store on 16th and C serves Starbucks. It's quite a ways, but yeah, do we know if that coffee shop in the Cafe at City will be open?
That wasn't discussed, but I would venture to say that it will be open. I will get confirmation. I'm not 100% positive, but let me confirm.
Thank you, John. Here's another question here. Will there be any faculty staff on City the week of December 20th through the 25th, specifically Monday, December 20 and Tuesday, the 21st?
I have an answer for that. I heard that in the COVID meeting yesterday morning. Vice Chancellor Smith is looking to make a recommendation on that week district-wide. I don't have an answer yet for you, Saul, but they're going to be looking to make an announcement if that would be a remote week. Because I think what happened over the week of Thanksgiving, that Thanksgiving break week, some campuses stayed open, some were remote, and we're just trying to kind of keep that whole one piece for the whole district. So no, I just know that it's in the conversation and something will be posted soon, whether it's that we're here or whether we're working remotely. Sorry, not really a full answer, but as best I can for now. And I think there was another question in the chat we missed in there, Caesar, from Joan.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, let me read that out. Let's see here. From Joan, I think the campus is not a safe place to be at night, much less the daytime. We need police presence and police in and around the cafeteria for crowd control. Does anybody want to comment on that?
Well, what I will say is since, so we left campus in March of 2020, and immediately in the summer and in the fall of 2020, we've had night classes here on campus. I don't know if people realize that we've actually been running night classes all along. Our trades programs have been here. We continue to run classes in the S&T building. This is part of what we've been doing on our enrollment management plan, that our night programs, I forgot, there was some fancy name, Genevieve, I can't remember what it was, but do you remember? There was some fancy name they gave it, and we're really trying to place classes in the same buildings, like clusters. And the reason we were trying to do that is when students walk to the parking lot together, they're on campus together. It's just one of those safety measures that we were looking. Right before COVID hit, we were also starting to walk the campus at night to identify spaces and make it a little bit safer. We have a lot of students that keep complaining and saying they really need those night services. So we need to make an effort to try and make that and not make it the only space and all by itself. So I agree, we do need to have some kind of more than one person out there. So, and in the daytime, I have to say, yesterday, I'm going to go back to whoever said it earlier, but it was such a pleasure to see people on this campus yesterday. I went up and down that line and just thanked them for being here, because it's a lonely space when they're not here. And people just were saying, I really miss being here and I really enjoyed it. So that's all I had to say for that one. Was there another one that we missed?
Yes, another one regarding working remotely from Joan. I've been reading the letter from the AFT about working remotely. If our office doesn't have any additional workload, and a full workload won't happen with the online and hybrid classes next semester, may the whole office make a plan to continue working remotely in the fashion we are now.
That's going to go to your VP and your dean, your manager, your dean, and then you should work with your VP. Am I wrong there, John?
You are not wrong.
Because I can't answer that question for everybody, right? It's going to be
Depends.
It depends. Everybody all at one time.
Yeah.
Depends.
Okay, any other questions? I don't see any new questions here. One note, just a reminder too, save the date. Convocation, spring convocation is on January 27th from 9 o'clock. We'll be having it virtually and in person here in the A building patio. So again, Thursday, January 27th, spring convocation. So please plan on attending.
One last thing too, Caesar. So this is already the 9th of December. When would we start? I mean, next week are finals. People are really busy trying to close things up. When would we want to start coming back with Campus Ready? Well, I think sometime in January, maybe the second week of January, something like that.
I think the second week, I know some folks are taking a vacation.
Mhm.
Yeah, so second week would
Okay.
work. And I think we'll continue the every other week.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So it won't interfere with convocation.
Yes. So just be on the lookout, folks, for the reminder for the next Campus Ready session. I'll send an email reminder to the campus.
So this is the last one for 2021?
This is the last one for 2021. Unless you guys want to meet during the break, we could make it happen.
Take care of yourself, everyone.
Awesome. All right, folks, that's it. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks,
Happy
everybody.
holidays. Yes, take care. and we'll see you in 2022.
Got it.